Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I'm doing a sort of modern beach bachelor's pad. So if you're interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. So the sort of inspiration I had for this build is a really rich person, single dude, or not even single dude, just single person in general, just because it's one bedroom. And so the idea kind of started because I've been watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy. Like I don't think I've ever seen an episode like on like regular television. I've only ever seen it on Netflix. And so it had been a while and I was just kind of like, I'll watch a couple episodes. And I started watching a couple episodes and then it turned into a binge. And now I am like all the way past the point where Christina Yang is gone, which is a place I never thought I would go, because she's always been one of my favorite characters. But yeah, so that's kind of where some of the inspiration came from, this sort of like Derek Shepherd's like house in the woods. And if you don't have no idea what I'm talking about, basically super rich doctors who have a house like out in the wilderness basically, and it's like it ends up being a lot different than I thought it would be. Like in the show it's like really log cabin-y, which is not what I expected, but this is like hyper modern. It also has a sort of spa area in the basement, which I thought was really cute. And like, you know, you come home from a long day at the ER and you're like, oh yeah, I just need to relax. And so here for the roofing, I originally thought I would do a rooftop deck, but then I realized that I had built that roof section on a diagonal and that makes the stairs really annoying. I wish they would fix that in The Sims. Honestly, that's ridiculously restrictive. But yeah, so I nixed the rooftop idea, and so then I just ended up with that weird sort of mismatch of a roof. And then another thing that I really like about this build is the stairs, the front stairs. I like how they like merge for going upstairs and for going to the first floor. I thought that was really cool. I'm talking a mile a minute, but yeah. So the first floor is going to kind of be the living space, and then the second floor is the bedroom, and then obviously the downstairs floor, like I said, is the sort of spa area. And so with this, I kind of imagined that this person didn't actually have that many guests because the entertainment area is really small. You know, like there's kind of a nice kitchen, but it's also kind of small. And so really the only thing that's like relatively big is the bedroom. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was going for here. And of course, because it's one of my modern builds, I went with like, I feel like with my modern builds, I either go with like a red, black, and white color scheme, or I go with the sort of teal, maybe black or white or like light brown colors. So that's definitely the color scheme I went for. And part of that is because I didn't even know if I was going to post this build, not because I didn't like it, but because I was building this for a sim in-game, like a doctor sim. I thought I might try and do the doctor career path again because I never really got that far in it and I was interested. I still haven't gotten that far in it. I kind of dropped it after I started building this house. I was a lot more interested in the house than the character, which is usually the case for me. I get so caught up in the storytelling process that I tend to forget the actual gameplay. But yeah, so that's why I didn't really try and be super creative in this. I don't know. Just because I was originally kind of just building it for me, but then I liked it enough, so I was recording it anyways, so I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. But it's a very specific house, and so I don't know. I think it could be applicable to other people though. I definitely do. But I'm just too obsessed with that color. Like, I've written down notes. I always write down notes when I go through so I have something to talk about. And I'm looking at my notes and it literally says, obsessed with that color. One sentence, obsessed with that color, because that is me. I am obsessed with that color. But yeah. So, funny story. So when I was doing the screenshots and whatnot for this, or not the screenshots, but like the panoramic shots, I got really annoyed with the sim on the lot because they kept like interfering with the shot. And so the sim is actually a sim self of me. Like, not a super serious one, just kind of one I was like, oh, this kind of looks like me, and then I named it Penapple, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then the last name is Builder, just so I know which files are the ones where I build houses in. But it's technically me, and so I basically locked myself in the basement of this house. It was really awkward. Like, I checked in every once in a while to make sure, like, you know, that I wasn't dying. Like, I didn't just, like, leave without, like, any, like, toilet or anything. Like, there was everything they needed. It was just still really awkward to kind of lock your sim self in the basement. These are the type of Sims problems that you really only understand if you've played The Sims. I don't know why you'd be watching this if you haven't played The Sims. I guess maybe if you really liked architecture. I mean, I definitely have always loved architecture, so I don't know. But yeah. Also, another story I wanted to share with you guys. So, and it's doctor related, which is why I'm going to share it. So every once in a while I have to go get my blood tested. And so I have two options of where I can go. And one of them is like on the other side of town, in the busiest part of town, near the hospital. And so I never actually have gone there, but I don't think I really want to. And so then the other place is a really convenient location. And so I've been there before, but the lady who like always does like the test is like really mean and really intimidating. Like, I have really small veins, which means it's really hard for them to like find, you know, a vein. And so she always like gives me like poop about it. Like, she's always like, you need to drink more water. And like, I literally drank 3 bottles of water and showed up with like a half empty water bottle in hand. And she was like, well, next time, just, you know, really try. And I was just like, I tried. I promise. I tried this time. Every time, though, it's like so ridiculous. And then my boyfriend pointed out, well, you know, that's kind of her job. It's just to find your veins. Like, that's not your fault. It's not your fault you have small veins. I mean, I tried. But yeah. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. It was just one of the fun things. I don't get out of the house much, and so that's one of the things I did when I got out of the house. Like, I'm taking summer classes, which a lot of you guys know, but that means I spend the majority of my time indoors in my apartment, and so there will be times when I don't even leave during the day, which is really sad, but like, I'm doing school, so there's like in my house, and so there's really no reason to leave, especially because my significant other lives with me. But yeah, so I don't usually have news for you guys. For your guys, what am I saying? I don't usually have news of the outside world for you guys. And so I thought I'd share now that I finally have news. It's like the most boring news ever, but that's okay. So here is the master sort of bedroom, master room. I mean, there's only one bedroom in the house. And I tested everything. Well, I didn't purposely test everything. I was playing the game, and coincidentally I tested everything, and it all works. I think there might have been 1 or 2 things I changed that I can't remember, but I made sure to go back and change them in the actual file that will be put on the gallery. But yeah, so everything works. Here I thought I would try and put in this sort of wardrobe because I thought that'd be really nice, but because it's on a diagonal, everything gets stretched out, and so later on you'll see me trying to work with it, and it was really weird. Like, it just like caused a hole in the wall, but then there was space between the hole in the wall and the like wardrobe. It was so weird. But yeah, this bedroom actually gave me a lot of trouble, and I think part of that is because I'm getting a little bit like tired of the sort of furniture in The Sims. Like, you know, I do so much building and I kind of like use the same stuff over and over again. It can get hard to sort of reinvent it. And I'm just like, dying for more beds. Like, we finally got another bed. Like, we haven't gotten another full-size bed since the outdoor retreat pack, and that was so long ago. So long, like, and we haven't got another full-size bed, and we finally got a, like, single-person bed, and just that, for the kids, which is nice, and I like that bed, but it's kind of like, why is there no corresponding bigger bed? Because bed, like, I think almost, well, not all the beds have corresponding bigger beds, but still. That's just me complaining. I am a world-class complainer. It's how I relieve some of my anxiety. So, by extension, you guys get to be world-class listeners of my world-class complaining. Yeah, here I did something interesting. I kind of like it. I thought it made the bed look kind of new, kind of fresh. I didn't test if Sims could actually sit on those stools, but I like how it looks. I think it looks kind of cool. At least semi-original, I don't know. But in these corners, I wasn't sure really what to put, so I ended up just putting up a lot of plants. And so it kind of looks like a jungle in the way, and so it's kind of a weird bedroom. Like, honestly, especially with all the little plants above the bed, which I do end up changing a bit so that they form a pyramid shape. It's like really green. And I've just been really into that lately, using like all of the household plants in The Sims. And so I don't know if everyone will like that, but I thought it looked kind of cool. Here's where I'm doing this sort of diamond shaped thing, just because I wanted something unique to put above the bed. And so I think it looks cool. At least I do. But yeah, here I am now trying to figure out the kitchen, which gave me a little bit of trouble. I think I even cut out some sections of me just waffling. And here I thought I might make a heart shape. But then I was like, this is not the build to be making a heart-shaped cabinet. To save that for a different build. But I did end up doing something I haven't done before, which is a circular counter that's broken up by an oven stove thing. Okay, sorry, I paused there because I can hear the train in the background. So I'm going to pause for a second. I don't know, grab a drink or something. It won't actually be more than like a second for you guys, but I will see you in a minute. Okay, I think we're good. The train, I can never tell because sometimes it's a passenger train, and if it is, then it stops at the train station, which is, I mean, it's not that close, but it's within hearing distance of the horn, and so the horn will sound, or the whistle, and then it'll stop for a while, and you'll be like, oh, okay, it's passed. But then it'll start up again because it's like, oh, hey, wait, no, we're still moving through the city, so we gotta let everybody know. Which, I mean, is important. They have to let people know, but still, it's annoying. But yeah, I think it was probably just like a cargo train, so hopefully I'm not wrong and it doesn't start back up again. But yeah, my daily struggles with the train, which it's actually, the train isn't so bad in the winter because the windows are closed, and the windows are closed now for recording, but during the summer, like, I have the windows open and it's so loud, like you can no longer hear the television or something over the train. It's obnoxious. But I mean, I live like maybe a couple acres away, like I can see it from my window if I go out and look, so of course it's loud. But let's get back to the build. So I think here I might be starting into the spa, maybe not, I'm not quite sure, but I figured the spa space will probably go a bit unused, and I think that's kind of how it actually is in most like sort of spa places and houses. People don't actually use them, they just like to have them in case they maybe someday use them, especially if you're like a doctor or busy person or something. You never tend to use the luxuries that you can afford. At least I've seen it. I mean, some people do, but like, I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, well, I have this fancy thing, but I never actually use it. But yeah, so here, this bathroom will be kind of awkward because it's like windows out into the wild, open air. But I figure, like, I imagine this being really reclusive sort of place, you know, not a place everybody goes. And also it's The Sims, so even though if they walk into the bathroom, they're like, oh, I've just seen the most terrifying thing in the world and I'm so embarrassed. If they see it through a window, they're like, nothing's happening, it's fine. I'm not seeing somebody poop. But if they actually walk in the room, it's a different story. But yeah, here I am doing the entryway, which I like this section of it. But I wasn't quite sure what to do with this blank space, and so I kind of went a little crazy. And I put like the statue, and then I also put, excuse me, one of the light chandeliers. And so I don't know if I actually like it or not. But yeah, you guys will see it in a second. I also want to point out that I put coffee purposely in here because I was like, oh, doctors never get any sleep. They're always so busy. So yeah, I mean, that's not that like crazy of a thing to put in the kitchen, but that is just one of the little touches that I put in because, you know, when I was building this, I was building it for a specific sim. But yeah, here I was about to say, oh, I'm getting into the living room, but I think finally this is the sort of downstairs spa area, and I really love this. I always like putting in basements with windows into the pools, like, I don't know how many builds I've done that in, a ridiculous amount. Like, I haven't put in a pool, but in one of my starter builds, I even put in a basement with windows so that because I just really like it. But yeah, I tried to make this space as sort of relaxing as possible. And I really like how it turned out, although I wish I had put a sort of sitting area in the like hallway that's kind of down there, because there's a fireplace. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I went for a really long walk this morning. But there's a fireplace. And so, you know, I feel like usually you'd want to sit next to the fireplace, but, you know, it is how it is. I forgot, one of the things, it's like a really little thing, but I'm sure maybe one or two of you might have noticed. I don't know. Some people are really observant. Other people's aren't. I'm not. I'm one of those others peoples. But this lot was actually built on a different lot than, like, so I'm building it here, but then the screenshots and the panoramic shots and then the actual like lot on the gallery is based on a different lot. And that's because, you know, I just kind of went into building this house, and then I went to go look at it on the gallery, and I was like, oh, the front of the lot is, oh, excuse me, I like got a burp or something, but the front of the lot is like the side of the lot. And I was like, curses, it looks really boring from the side. So I was like, oh, well, you know, just keep building it. There's another lot that you can put it in where it's the correct direction. So that's what happened. I don't know if anyone noticed that. I don't know if I would have noticed that. I really don't know if I would have. But here, that sort of latticey thing, I've really gotten into that thing, and I end up using it on the outside of the house, and I really love the effect that it had. I'm so sorry, I'm like yawning, I'm like fighting back a burp, like super attractive. I don't even know what's happening. But yeah, here I think I am about to get into a really actually pathetic living room for like kind of like I imagined a rich person. This is a pretty pathetic living room. It's just literally one sofa for like 3 sieves, a coffee table, and a TV, and that's it. But it was such a small space. It was a lot smaller than I thought it would be, and by the time I got to building the living room, it was like there wasn't anywhere really to expand to without sort of changing the shape of the house in a way that changed the overall like look of it. And so I just kind of went with it. So like there's this weird sort of hallway to the end that's a living room, and in the hallway there's a like desk, but you know, I think it works out. I need to like drink some of that coffee I was talking about earlier. Although weird enough, I find that coffee tends to actually put me more to sleep. I don't know what that's about. And I've also talked about this before, but coffee gives me migraines. But yeah, so this is the living room shaping up, and I think in a bit I go to the, well, now I'm doing the lights. Oh, here's I think where I'm going to put in that really weird chandelier, which I've never felt comfortable using. So like those two really big lights that came in the dine out, like the square one and the circular one, and then these lights, chandeliers that came in the spa day pack, I have never been comfortable using them. I always feel like they look kind of weird, but I just kind of went with it. And I think it looks better when you're not trying to take a screenshot of it, or at least I hope it does. But yeah, that one was a little bit of a weird one. Sometimes when I'm building, I'm kind of like, does this work? Does this look good? I don't know. Let's just go with it. And so then I just go with it. So this house later on actually has a lot of usable outdoor space. Like it has that hot tub out there, which I really like. And I forget whether I included a screenshot. I think I did, of like if you're sitting in the hot tub, what the view would be. And so I thought that was really cool. And so it has a really nice hot tub, and I really like the upstairs deck. And I ended up putting in a lot of like planter boxes up there, or they're more of the like little planter like circles, and so or buckets, I guess. But so I kind of imagined that I was gonna get that sim I was talking about into like gardening and stuff, because I figured he would be like super health conscious because he was a doctor, and he'd be like, oh, maybe I should grow my own food like a little farmer. And then he'd hire a gardener to take care of all of it because he wouldn't actually have the time. So that was kind of the plan with that. And that's why there are so many of those up there. And I also added a tree up there, which I thought was really cute. I wanted like something big there, and I was like, tree. Let's go with the tree. Yeah, here I'm starting to figure out what tree I'm going to put there. And so, yeah. Basically, I just imagine this house as being really fancy, and probably like the sim didn't actually spend all that much time here, because they're always like on call or whatever, you know, trying to be the best surgical person they could be, like really Grey's Anatomy influence right there. Way too much of it. But yeah, in the end, I'm really glad that I did record it, because it wasn't something I was planning on recording. But I did, and I love what I did here, because I managed to put in sort of fencing without actually using the fence around here, and it was a little bit tedious, but I really liked how it ended up like actually making a fence with that, because you couldn't with the actual fence tool, if that makes any sense. But I really liked it. I really liked how that turned out. But yeah, we are coming up on the end of this build. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave me a like, a comment, or subscribe. If you like the house, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. So I hope that you guys are all having a good day. The screenshots are coming up soon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!